Thanks very much.
My name is Darren Wheatley, the husband of Nicola Wheatley and the father of our two beautiful children, Oscar and Fionn. Both were young when Nicola was taken from us. Oscar was 7 and Fionn was just about to turn 3. Losing Nicola has devastated our family, and 2 young children lost their mammy. Nicola died in circumstances that were completely avoidable and should not have happened. Decisions made by Nerys Lloyd, and only Nerys, led to the 4 lives lost. Any sentence served by Nerys in prison will never ease the pain of losing Nicola, and our lives will never be the same again. The impact she has had on our lives is beyond words. I hope Nerys takes the time whilst locked up to reflect and finally acknowledge the devastating impact of her decisions that day. I'm grateful for the judge's understanding of the gravity of what happened and what have all gone through as families. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Teresa, Morgan's mother. Never in my life did I think that I would be stood outside Swansea Crown Court. Today, Nerys Lloyd has been convicted of 4 counts of gross negligence and manslaughter, along with health and safety offence. One of the deaths was my beautiful daughter, Morgan Rogers. It's been 3 long years and 7 months since I lost my only daughter, Morgan, my best friend. Over 3 years since I laid eyes on her. Over 3 years since I heard her infectious laugh. I wish you would all have met her. My beautiful daughter Morgan. She was always smiling, always happy, always content in her life. She didn't want to rock the world. She wanted to live a respectable life. She would never hurt anyone. She was a gentle soul, always looking for the good in people. Anyone that has lost a child by someone else's doing will know that there is no pain like it. The day I lost the day I lost a piece of myself. I will never be the same person without my Morgan. I can never forgive Nerys Lloyd for what she has taken from me. Though Nerys Lloyd's negligence, it was over 12 hours before I was informed of Morgan's death. Even then, it was another 12 hours before I formally identified her myself. My precious girl was not important to Nerys Lloyd. She couldn't give police Morgan's details, as she hadn't even bothered to get Morgan's emergency contact details in case of an accident. That was despicable. Without the due diligence of the police on the Saturday, it would have taken longer to identify Morgan. Nerys Lloyd's arrogance spoke volumes for the person she is and the attitude that she showed towards the people she had in her care that day. The lack of concern is shocking. Only now that her sentence will start will she have time to reflect. But to be honest, I don't think she is capable of it. Her attitude through this case has shown not to be capable by her actions. I would like to thank Dyfed-Powys Police. Also, special thank you to our liaison officer, Laura Evans. And lastly, the Crown Prosecution. But I do wish to put something else there as well. I do wish to say a big thank you to the public that tried to help in the best way they could that day when my daughter and the 2 other ladies and Paul drowned. Thank you. Okay.
I am Detective Superintendent Cameron Ritchie of Powell Police. I was a senior investigating officer in this case. Following the sentencing hearing over the past 2 days, the criminal proceedings are now finalised. We welcome the custodial sentence handed down to Nerys Lloyd. The gravity of the offences and the loss of life following the tragic incident on the 30th of October 2021, meaning that custody could be the only acceptable outcome. Of course, no sentence can ever replace the loss for the families or the trauma suffered by the survivors. We've heard harrowing testimony from the victims and survivors during this hearing of the continuing impact that this incident had on them. I sincerely hope that the conclusion of these proceedings helps to clear the way for them to be able to start the healing process. I want to thank the families and the survivors for their patience and engagement during this complex investigation. The legal bar to proving gross negligence manslaughter is exceptionally high, requiring the most thorough of investigations, necessarily requiring time to complete. Their dignified conduct, whilst waiting for this day, has been exceptional. I want to take this opportunity to thank my investigation team in Powell Police, who have worked incredibly hard to achieve this result. The fact Nerys Lloyd had little option than to plead guilty is testament to the commitment and dedication of the team and the quality of their work. I would also like to thank our colleagues at the Health and Safety Executive for their assistance throughout the investigation, and to colleagues from the Crown Prosecution Service for their advice during the investigation and in bringing about this prosecution. It would be wrong not to pay tribute to the efforts of all those who responded on that day under difficult circumstances, focused on rescuing everyone from the river. A major incident involving professionals from various agencies, but also members of the public who, at least on one occasion, voluntarily put themselves at risk trying to save the casualties. Their efforts are to be commended. Nerys Lloyd's catalogue of failures that led to the deaths of Andrea, Morgan, Nicola and Paul should never have happened. Their lives were needlessly lost as a result of her negligence. The impact of that on the families and survivors was always at the very centre of this investigation, and it is with them that my thoughts will remain. Thank you very much. Thank you.